Hey guys, what's up? It's Joe Rady from Rady's Rides. I'm at one of my favorite little forest scenes because guess what? We have a really special mid-size truck. This is a 2021 Jeep Gladiator Overland 4x4, but the big news for 2021 is this one has the optional EcoDiesel engine. But before we dive into this off-road mid-size truck, let's talk about what's going on here. So Jeep, this iconic brand, goes back so many decades and really has a devout cult following, especially when it comes to the Wrangler. Well, the big news was for 2020 was adding a bed to the back of a Wrangler and calling it the Gladiator. Now for 2021, they've expanded their options, and boy oh boy, going the Overland route is gonna give you some great options. It's gonna give you some amazing 4x4 capability, but now with that EcoDiesel engine, you're gonna get a ton of torque where you could take one of these trees and just rip it right out of the ground and just drag it right out of here. Big news, like I said, having that EcoDiesel really shows the flexibility in their lineup, the versatility in their lineup, and also shows the competition that they mean business in the midsize truck segment. Because remember, midsize truck segment is on fire from all the different brands. So let's go ahead, let's drop in and find out, should you be parking this Gladiator in your garage over those other midsize truck brands? Right off the bat, I love the Overland trim because you're gonna get a lot of nice, beautiful paint. If you notice on those fenders that really just flare out, everything is fully painted compared to, say, a sport trim where this would be just flat black. Now, as we come to the front, you're gonna get LED headlights, LED daytime running lamps. I love the way they take the metallic silver and kind of just drop it right in to really showcase that iconic design. I'm so glad when they went with the redesign on the Wrangler, on the Gladiator, they kept that same look that you could be on Mars and see this through your telescope and know it's a Jeep product. And the great news is we got a Gladiator and it's an Overland. You have that 7-slotted grille, all that favorite tale of Jeep being the first vehicle on all 7 continents. 7-slot grille kind of makes sense. Love the way they drop some more of that metallic silver in each of those 7 slots. Of course, fully functional. And then you could just see that wonderful width that you're gonna get at the front. Now, when you drop down, you are gonna get this flat black bumper. Now, the good news is, with it being flat black, it's gonna take a really good beating. You're gonna have massive tow hooks to where you could pull those lesser trucks out of the mud pit, out of the sand pit, or just right off the road, just yank them right out. You do have functional fog lamps, a fake vent, which I am gonna zonk. I wish that they would just kind of hollow this out. Just take a Dremel tool. I wanna take a Dremel tool and just kind of drill that out just to have it open. I think that would just give it a little bit more sporty look. Plus, it wouldn't be just flat, fake plastic vent there. But they did take the metallic silver, shows that cohesive thought, that process that's going on. Up front, you're gonna have Dana 44 axles. Out back, you have Dana 44 axles. You got a 2-speed transfer case, and you have under the vehicle skid plate protection, even for the automatic transmission, that 8-speed automatic transmission. You can see the amount of ground clearance that we have, really gonna show the versatility and how rugged this truck really is. There's a lot of trucks that claim they could go off-road. When it comes to Jeep and the Gladiator, it's already a done deal. This being a 4x4, it's gonna be fully off-road capable. Now, when we swing around the bend, what are we working with when you go overland? Because like I said, EcoDiesel underneath the hood, and when we look at the hood, I love that nice rise. It's a very aggressive, muscular hood without being too over the top. Of course, you're gonna have your 2 bump stops here because remember, unlike a lot of the other trucks, you're gonna be able to just fold that windshield down, which is a really nice touch. You can see all the exterior hinges, give it that classic look. And even to pop the hood, there's no release. You just do it from the outside, just like the good old days. When we come to the wheel and tire setup on this Overland, you could get an EcoDiesel 3 different ways: Sport, Overland, or Rubicon. I'm really digging the Overland because like I said, I love the painted fenders. Really nice looking wheel. It's like a flat metallic gray, kind of goes well with our particular gray Overland that we have. And if you're wondering, well, Joe, what is the size of this wheel? So you're basically looking at an 18-inch wheel, 255 on the width, and a meaty 70 series sidewall. You can see all that room that we have to get all that suspension travel. And I'm gonna have Lori kind of sneak on in from the corner here and show the shock absorber, show all the different inner bits for the suspension that make this Jeep do things that other trucks just can't do. Now on the fender, you do have a functional side vent, which is a nice touch. You're gonna have that trail rated 4x4 badge, the Jeep logo, and the Gladiator name. Because remember, this is the Gladiator Jeep pickup truck, that midsize truck, flat black on your mirrors. Remember, just like any other Jeep Wrangler, doors come off the Gladiator. So doors, you fold down that windshield, you can take the roof panels off and really have that nice open air experience the way it's really meant to be used. Going down the side of the doors, like I said, the exposed hinges give it that classic look. You do have your running boards, solid, rigid running boards all the way down, which is nice. And that's gonna give you that ability when you get in to just kind of have a little bit better footing, especially for maybe people who are a little bit shorter. But the doors have a nice solid close as you slap them shut. You come towards the rear, you can see more of that beautiful fender, everything painted, just a little bit of flat black along the edge. And working towards the rear of the truck, I really dig the way they did the taillights. It makes it look like those fuel reserve canisters that would be on the old-fashioned Jeeps from World War II. So you'd have your fuel tank on the back. That's where they get that rectangle shape to it. LED taillights to match the LED headlights. You got your EcoDiesel badge, because this does have that turbocharged diesel underneath the hood. Your Jeep logo, looking real clean. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna open this up. You do have nice soft release. Of course, we're gonna get a full bed liner. And what I love about their tonneau covers from Jeep, it's that easy to use folding process. So you're just gonna roll that forward and that will open up all the space to the interior. Look at this, you have a home power source. So you could do some tailgating, you could do some, say you gotta do some woodwork at a build site or something like that. Or if you're camping, you have that plug-in, you got full LED bed lights, which is wonderful. Fold that back down, fold that up. Of course, you're gonna have a sliding rear cab window. And I really like the way they just made it almost look all like one piece of glass on the back. And the way that it's kind of recessed in gives it a clean look. And as we kind of drop down here, you can see that they took the same design from the front bumper, brought it to the rear, super clean. You got your Overland badge. Of course, you're gonna be able to tow with this truck, but amazing amount of ground clearance. They take all the exhaust and just tuck everything up nice and tidy so you're not ripping anything off as you go down your favorite trail road. But why don't we go ahead, let's pop the hood and see that new EcoDiesel engine. All right, guys, we got the hood popped. You do have a prop rod. I'm not gonna zonk it because this is a Jeep product, and I really like those old touches. You could really see they did the work to make sure you're not sucking in a bunch of dirt by having that intake on the side. Underneath that hood, it's a little dirty, but hey, that's the way a Jeep should be. You're looking at that all-new 3-liter V6 turbo diesel engine, given the code name EcoDiesel, 260 horsepower, 442 pound-feet of torque. So like I said, you could pull your favorite stump right out of the ground. It's made it to an 8-speed automatic transmission, and the Gladiator does tow 6,000 pounds. The EcoDiesel Gladiator does tow 6,000 pounds. MPGs, 22 in the city, 28 on the highway. And like I was saying, I think that it's so smart. You know, Jeep does automatically a great job when it comes to tons of different trims. It's really nice to add to the lineup a turbo diesel engine for those who really lust after that. But why don't we go ahead, let's fire up this EcoDiesel and hear what it sounds like. All right, guys, we're inside the 2021 Jeep Gladiator Overland with that EcoDiesel. I know what you're saying. You're saying to yourself, Joe, I've wanted a midsize truck, but they really kind of bore me. But I need a truck, but I've always wanted a Jeep Wrangler. What am I supposed to do? Well, guess what? Jeep has the answer. And if you need or desire a turbo diesel engine, they got you covered with this Overland that we're in. Now, I know it's that point where you're like, Joe, well, how much does it cost? MSRP, the way that this one is optioned out, is right around $61,000. let's see what you get for the money. To the door panels that, remember, you can take off. That's the nice flexibility of this Jeep Gladiator. You have soft touch material up top. I like the nice material on the armrest. The white contrast stitching adds a nice bit of class. Even that belt buckle style door handle there. It's like the size of a Texas belt buckle. That's good. Just the nice little touches. And then down below, you do have a cargo net, but the good news is you have plenty of room for all your snacks. So you could easily put 18 Snicker bars in there. You could put some bananas. You could even put some Twinkies. My advice is just don't fill it up too much, because you will crush your nuts, have a banana split, and then get cream all over the place. But the great news is this interior is easy to clean, so you can take that door panel off and just clean it. Now, when you get to the dash, very, very far forward, gives you a lot of room up front. You have a nice handle to pull so your passenger could pull themselves in. On the Overland trim, you're getting this nice soft touch material, the white contrast stitching, a little bit of silver, but it looks super clean, massive and soft. Almost feels like a Nerf football. Oh crap handle for your passenger. And then this is one of my favorite things that I love on Jeep products, or a lot of other FCA products like Dodge, Chrysler, and Ram, is the Uconnect system. In this one, we have the optional 8.4-inch, obviously navigation, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, super clear graphics. It even has a Jeep Gladiator Overland as your icon for the actual navigation. It's the touches like that that just really add to the big picture. Of course, it's touchscreen. We're rocking out to 80s on 8. You got your climate controls. You could touch the screen, or there's other ways to do that, and I'll show you that in a few seconds. You even have your other controls, heated seats, heated steering wheel. We could go into our backup camera. There's our trajectory. Look how clear it is. And if you notice, it fills up all four corners of this postage stamp. So that's really good news as well. And it's nice, quick reacting. The colors are great. The graphics, you could go into your different settings, which is wonderful, and adjust whatever you need to adjust. Very, very responsive, very intuitive, and I like the way they integrated it into the dash. You can see how they kind of notched out the sides for the AC vents. You have your start-stop button, and like I was telling you, if you don't like screens, say you have a phobia of touching screens, you actually have solid controls. So you have these nice rubber-mounted knobs for volume, for your blower fan speed, real easy to do, even for the heated seats. If you don't want to go in a screen, it's okay. You got your heated seats right here. Look at that, 1, 2, 3. You shut off that pesky automatic start-stop feature, and then as you drop down, remember, on Jeep products, you have the window controls that are inboard. Remember, we have that because it's one less thing to disconnect when you take off the door panel. So these are all your window controls. Look at this, media. Are you going to be checking out books? No. Look what we have here, USB-C, USB, and an aux jack. Love the way it closes. You got a 12-volt. And then you get a nice little, I have my garage door opener here, but you could easily put some atomic fireballs, some Jolly Ranchers, maybe even some now and laters, because guess what? The best thing about now and later is you can have it now or later. Transmission, this is going to control that 8-speed. I want to have Lori kind of showcase how you actually have a Gladiator on the actual shift knob here. It's the touches. It's the little things that add up to the big picture, which is great. And then just pull that red trigger and it goes back. And then, of course, the good old-fashioned way of controlling your 4x4 system. So you have this shifter here to go from 2 high, 4 high, or into 4 low. No buttons or anything like that. We got a good old shifter. Also, a good old-fashioned e-brake with some wonderful leather and that white contrast stitching. 2 cup holders. I love the Jeep key fob. Just gives a nice classic look. Really nice. You got your panic button. You could do automatic remote start, lock and unlock. And then if you ever get into a street fight, you get a switchblade. No, that's just a key in case the battery is dead and you can't open up your doors and do the push button. So no street fighting, at least not right now. Armrest, nice height. Love the stitch work. Open this, look at that. You got a party tray. So you can put your Planters peanuts, pistachios, macadamia nuts, walnuts, knock yourself out. And then you lift that up, drop in your box of Twinkies. Literally 1 box of Twinkies will fit in there. And you have a USB. What I also think is cute is the way they number them. So in case you forget and you look in here and you're like, oh, this is USB number 2, USB number 1's over here. So that you can keep track of all your USBs. Nobody's stealing your USBs from you. Nice touch. Close that up. And then the seats, wonderful leather, some Overland embroidery, which is tasteful, nice bolstering. Of course, it's going to be full manual controls for the passenger and the driver. But remember, you're buying a Jeep here. The great news is you're just gonna take these levers and undo them, and then you just pop out these panels, and now you are ready to rock and roll the way that a Jeep was intended to be enjoyed. But why don't you come over to this beautiful leather wrapped steering wheel? I want to show you behind the wheel of the Gladiator Overland. All right, guys, business time on the driver's side. One thing I do want to point out is even though you do have manual controls like the passenger seat, you do have lower lumbar, which is nice. And you just kind of twist it a little bit. And you just get it just right there. Overall, 6 feet tall, plenty of headroom. And you know what? If you're the Jolly Green Giant and you're about 12 feet tall, just take off the roof panels and then you're just gonna be right through it like a giraffe. So you're good to go with when it comes to headroom and overall room on the interior. Steering wheel, I love what they do. The thickness is spot on the money. The stitching is wonderful all the way around. A little bit of brushed aluminum, tasteful horn button, flat black on the controls here. And then the gauges, a little bit of classic, a little bit of new. They really just knocked it out of the park. So I love how you have an analog tach, analog speedometer, and then in the center there, you have a digital display, which you could toggle through a whole smorgasbord of information. You could even just have a digital speedometer if you want. We could look at tire pressure. You could look at how the drivetrain is sending the power through the 4x4 system. I mean, they really took it to the next level with bringing and blending the technology with the old school feel. But why don't we go ahead, since we have 4 doors, let's check out the back seat and see how your passenger is going to enjoy going overland in your Gladiator Overland. All right, guys, back seat time. Before we get in, I just want to do this. I mean, look, this is just fun. You got your grab handle here, and it really just shows that suspension action and shock absorber travel when you're just rocking the boat yourself. But why don't we go ahead, instead of rocking the boat, let's get into the boat. Climbing on into the back seat, even like I said, still 6 feet tall. I haven't shrunk. Got plenty of headroom. The way that they took the speakers and put it into your rollover bar is a nice touch. And we do have the Alpine sound system in here. Even the way they kind of notch out the back of the seats to give you a little bit more leg room. You do have some pockets here for some trail bars. If you're going down some trail roads, you want to have your trail bar, your trail mix bars and whatnot back here. No Twinkies. Unless you're going down a road made out of Twinkies, then you could have a Twinkie. But if you're going on trails, you got to have a trail bar, like a Nature Valley bar or something like that. 2 massive cup holders. Look what we got. Home power source. Open up this door. More USBs. 2 USB-Cs and 2 USBs. We've been in cars that cost like $150,000 and they have to mail you a USB directly to your house because they don't put any in the car. You do have your window controls inboard, just like up front. Rear AC vents, which is nice. Seats, I'm telling you, for a midsize truck, you got a lot of nice room back here, especially compared to the competition. And then overall, you got an armrest on top of it. And it's a great height, 2 cup holders, manual sliding rear glass window. Hey, what's up? Close that up before they come and get us. But if you're ready, I'm ready. Let's take this Gladiator Overland for a spin. All right, guys, we're in the 2021 Jeep Gladiator Overland with that EcoDiesel. One thing I automatically love right off the bat is that diesel clatter. It really does have such a unique sound to it, and I'm glad that they didn't just muffle it all out. You're getting so much torque down low, it's ridiculous, out of a 3-liter V6, and super smooth. That's another great thing, and I think the way that they paired it perfectly with the 8-speed automatic transmission makes this harmonious connection, this harmonious combination, to where the great news about the Overland, this one's a little bit more streetable. You know, if you go Rubicon, you're gonna be getting a little bit more off-road aggressive tire. With the Overland, we are getting a little bit more street-friendly tire. So what that's gonna do is gonna do a combination of a lot of things. You're gonna have a little bit better experience driving this every day on the asphalt jungle, but you're also gonna get better wear out of them and less road noise at the end of the day. Well, pulling away, I'm telling you, this thing has plenty of power to get the job done and also accelerate you very, very easily. Like, super easy. All right, guys, I want to do a little on-throttle acceleration from a dead stop, feeding it a little bit of throttle. Here we go, on throttle. Wow. Actually made the keys fall right out of the center console compartment. really, really low down torque. You're not waiting around for anything. She is up and running, and like I said, towing capability, 6,000 pounds tow rating. You're gonna be able to have that great economy that you expect from a diesel engine, and it just creates a little bit different driving experience. It's interesting, you know. You know me, I mean, you already know me. I'm all about sound, and having that diesel engine just gives a little bit different personality than your standard internal combustion V6 Gladiator, and I'm really liking this. Like, I don't have a tree right now that I want to rip out of the ground, or a house that I need to pull off a foundation, but I'm digging the diesel, and I think that might be the box that I check off on that option sheet to put into my Gladiator. I guess my only question is, would I go full out Rubicon? Not 100% sure, but I'm telling you, the leather seating, the technology in here, wireless Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. There's more expensive vehicles where you got to pay a subscription service. I mean, what is this, the Jelly of the Month Club? No, it's not. You're in a Jeep product, and you're getting all of that comes with the vehicle. The 8.4-inch Uconnect system is a pleasure to work with and be around, and that's just going to make your driving experience that much more enticing, to where you're going to want to drive even more. I feel like, hey, point me in a direction and give me a full tank of diesel. I'm ready to rock and roll here. All right, guys, driving down the road, of course you're going to get wind noise. You are in a vehicle where you can remove all the panels, the roof panels, the doors and whatnot, but these are just things that you kind of understand going into it. If you think that there's not going to be any wind noise, you're looking at the wrong vehicle. But the great news is that everything is removable, and that just really creates a unique off-road experience or on-road experience that you're not going to get with a lot of other vehicles besides a Wrangler, to be honest with you. But driving it on the road, really, really smooth, really, really nice. The seats, they're very supportive. You're at a great height, and you have all the great tech. All right, guys, the area that I live in, I don't have some really crazy off-road terrain to really showcase what's going on with the Gladiator and all the capability that it is, but just to kind of showcase, hey, well, you could take this off-road, and you know what? The ride is compliant. They did the smart suspension work to it to really allow it to handle well, and this is just the tip of the iceberg. I mean, as I go, look at this, wonderful. So you can clearly see just how you're able to go different gradients and whatnot, and this truck is fully capable, just like a regular Wrangler is, and you're gonna have all that ground clearance and everything, and that's gonna allow you to just be able to go and do whatever it is you want to do. And you have full leather interior, which is wonderful. But great suspension travel. We got the railroad tracks over here. We're not gonna go driving on the railroad tracks. That's actually against the law, but this is a piece of cake. And just think what you could do with your Jeep Gladiator Overland, because if you have some serious terrain, this thing will do it. I mean, here we go, up the hill. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy, had it in 4 high. That's nothing. All right, guys, acceleration test from a desktop on throttle. I tell you, it feels really good to have all that torque down low. And the wonderful news is that it just really delivers the power super smooth. You're not waiting for the boost to kick in. It really just gets down to business, and you are off and running. And the 8-speed does such an amazing job to shift through the gears, so smooth. I hope that this has been a nice overall review so you can see what the EcoDiesel is all about, especially in this Gladiator Overland. We are gonna get back to our little woodsy scenery and wrap this one up, so I'll see you in a split second. All right, guys, been another great day here with this amazing Jeep product. I definitely got to thank Kimberly and everybody over at FCA, especially Jeep, for allowing Rady's Rides access to this 2021 Jeep Gladiator Overland 4x4 with the EcoDiesel engine. It really shows that they're not messing around, and they're bringing it in a big way. If you want to have that fun, if you want to be part of the club, you could do it and have the versatility of a pickup truck all in one nice package, mid-size package, and go off-roading. What else could you ask for? But if it's trucks like these that you want to keep seeing on Rady's Rides, leave a comment in the comment section. If you're new and you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile. Come back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Rady's Rides family. If you want to help us keep making great content just for you in the channel, click the link in the description. Get yourself some Rady's Rides merch. Got to give it up to the queen of the camera, but guess what? She's also the queen of this Jeep Gladiator. She is falling in love. Lori's falling in love with this Gladiator. So show her some love in the comment section. Let her know, should Joe Rady from Rady's Rides be buying a Jeep Gladiator anytime soon? Put that in the comment section and definitely thank her for her hard work. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.